Good morning. It is Wednesday, January 29th, 2020. Happy Hump Day. The topic of today's conversation will be how to fight hate with love. It's a powerful notion, isn't it? The thought that the thing we enjoy the most, which is that feeling of love, being able to conquer and destroy that thing that we hate the most, which is that feeling of hate. And so what is hate? What is love? Don't hurt me, don't hurt me, no. I wrote this down before I started my thing. And yeah, pretty much what we got there is fight hate with love, which also means reply to fear with patience, faith, or trust. Love is patient. Love is kind. Got that? And yeah, let's dive into that. I had a situation yesterday. Sorry I didn't make a video. Also, I'm wearing my glasses. I did spend way too much of my life in front of a screen, so I screwed up my vision. I am supposed to wear glasses, and I don't have contacts, so all those other videos without me wearing glasses was just my vain attempt at being blind. Yeah. So yesterday, you gotta learn about yourself. That's why I'm making these videos. It's super important for me. And one thing I know about myself is that way too many times I have just fought hate with hate. I have fought fear with fear. I didn't like what I saw, and it made me afraid, so I responded in a negative way. And you ask yourself, how often does that actually work? How often do you see someone that is acting a certain way, let's call it negative, and most likely that negative comes from fear. It's like, there's basically two core emotions that humans have, and it's fear and love. I think the other two are fight and flight, and that's just like, that's our animal side, and those are the animalistic emotions to that. But once the humans evolved from the animal, the fight gets replaced with fear, and the flight also is fear. And love becomes what we get. Love is what we get as an evolved species. So let's try to remember to fight that hate with love at all times. And I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I was doing a business transaction, and the person owed me money for the sale, and they showed up with like 10% of the money that they were supposed to have. 10%, right? And they're supposed to pay me in cash too. I mean, how do you do that? And then he, oh, this is a mistake, this is an accident. I had to hear him talk on the phone with his family. Everything seemed like bad. There seemed like a lot of fear, and it triggered me. I started feeling like I was afraid too. And I wanted to get angry. I wanted to tell him, like, dude, get your fucking shit together. What is this? You trying to rip me off or something? Like, no one accidentally, thinks they're going to bring $10. It only brings $1. It's like, meanwhile, I'm looking at the person, and, They got scars on their head. They got tattoos on their hands. And I'm just thinking, like, I don't like people like this, right? But the real truth is, that's not who I want to be. You know, someone that judges whether I like someone or not based on their appearance. We all do it. It's just not who I want to be, you know? I'd like to take those judgments, put them aside, and save them for later, and then, you know, once their character demonstrates that my judgments were right, then I can go ahead and validate the character appraisal based on the appearance appraisal. You see the difference there? Martin Luther King Jr. said it best, you know, judge a man not by the color of his skin, but by the content of his character. And I stand by those words. Yeah. And it's not just skin color, it's eye color, it's hair color, it's ethnicity, it's cultural background, it's religion, it's all the layers we wear on top of the fact that we're all just human beings, you know? So pretty much I was losing it, man. And this was taking a while. It was taking, like, it was dragging on, it was looking bad. And he was pretty much losing hope too. He'd driven 3 hours to come see me. And he had to drive 3 hours back. And he was pretty much ready to say, F it, you know? Screw this, I'm going home. And I was just like, you know, I didn't fight the fear that I saw in the situation, that I saw in him, that I saw in myself. I didn't fight it with fear. I fought it with love. I just said, you know what, man? Let's try to turn this around. Let's try to make the best of this. Don't give up. I'm going to go home, and I'm going to give you some time to try to, like, figure things out, organize, get together, and that's exactly what he did. Called up one of his friends, had him go over to his house, had him get his money that I guess he'd left, had him go to the bank and had him deposit it into my business account. And it all turned out fine. And he wasn't very apologetic at first at all, and he didn't really act like sorry that he was wasting my time or anything. And that really pissed me off, but I forgave him, and I just kind of stayed positive. And it's true, I wanted to complete the transaction. I wanted the money, but at the same time, my pride can supersede those goals of financial gain to the fact where I'm just like, I want to be respected by people who got their shit together first and foremost. The money comes second from that. And I didn't feel like this guy was respecting me, and I didn't feel like he had his shit together. So I was ready to fucking go off on him, but I didn't. And after he deposited the money in my account, he actually apologized to me and said, you know, hey man, I'm sorry. And you know, it was so great. It was so beautiful. Instead of even just like accepting his apology, I thanked him. I said to him, you know what? Thank you, man. Because normally I got a temper problem. I lose my patience. And I can snap in situations like this. And it usually never turns out good, you know? But in this situation, I was cool with you. And it all worked out. You know, you ended up getting me the loot you said you would. And, you know, I got a chance to work on my anger issues and my patience. And I fucking won, man. It feels great. And now I get to make this video today bragging about how I fought hate with love, man. It means I replied to fear with trust. Because what is hate? It's just fear. And what is fear? It's that powerless, unknowing, you know, lostness. And trust is the opposite of that. You know? You gotta trust in love. You gotta have faith in love. I was gonna use the word faith to describe it, but the religions have really taken hold of the word faith. And now it's supposed to mean like what? You're believing in a God or a Jesus, but nah, man. This is what I've always believed. You gotta lose your ego, right? But when it comes to God, you gotta believe in yourself. Alright? Be humble for sure, but believe that God exists in you and you have the ability to channel that energy. Alright? And, you know, God is love. And love is patient, love is kind, And love has faith that no matter how ugly it gets, if it doesn't turn itself into the ugly it's facing, love always conquers hate. Always. That's 10 minutes. Let that be your lesson today. That as long as you do not become the fear that you are fighting, then your love, it will, as long as you keep it patient and you trust in it and you have faith and love, it will always conquer fear and it will always conquer hate. I just want to say that I love you guys. Thank you for seeing who I am and witnessing what I have to share. And I think I constantly misrepresent my beauty, and I want to be more beautiful, and I want people to see that. So you're beautiful too. Have a wonderful day. I love you guys.